I wish I knew this before drawing realistic figures and concepts. I was originally taught a very stiff approach to draw figures and for planning things out. I was making everything 10 times harder without realizing it. That my drawings, although they were good looking, but my ideas were missing. Most of the people, when they begin, the usual course is to get your drawing or painting as close to the subject as possible, right? Maybe for a few people it does work eventually, but if you ever want to draw from imagination, you want to break out of your references and not copy, then you need to follow me till the end. I promise it will change everything for you. I was actually drawing with too much of detail and trying to capture everything instead of drawing with conscious ideas. Now, I draw like this, and here's a trick that puts my drawing into easy mode. When I start drawing, I don't start with anatomy or details. I start with an action. Hey, editor, not that one. Not that one either. If you make a mistake one more time, I swear I'm gonna you, bozo. Yeah, that one works. Thanks. Every line has a job. Every stroke should express what the figure is doing. Think of it like this. I'm not drawing the body parts. I'm just drawing the figure's actions. We can always call them verbs. Verbs first and then the noun. If the body stretches, just like that, I'm going to draw the stretch of the body. If there's a squash on the body, I will draw the squash. Oh, not that squash. Okay, that one works. My God, editors these days. For this part, I just simply want you to follow step by step. And remember, don't worry about perfection. Even if your lines are not good, promise me that you'll follow it till the end. I'm gonna wait till you get your sketchbooks out. Alright, ready? Let's begin. Right, tough pose, right? But the first thing I'm gonna be looking out for is this. There's a whole stretch going on right here. So again, I'm focusing on the verb, as you can see, stretching. And then there comes the squash. Okay? With the stretching comes the squash on the opposite side. So there we go, two verbs, okay, that I'm going to be looking at for. And then for the legs, I'm just going to be using bent leg, and then the bent leg for this one too. For this one, I can use the bent arm. Now, you might say, oh, this is also bent arm, so you can use the same thing, same wordings, but I'm going to say no, right? Because the functionality is very different. This arm is just in the air, doing nothing, while this arm is actually supporting the whole pose. So we can call this, let's say, supportive arm. Yeah, that would be cool. And for both the legs, I'm using the same wordings just because of the fact that they're both bent and they're both supporting the pose. So bent leg is fine. Here, there's a difference in functionality. And that's about it. Keep it simple and don't complicate things. Right, so the first thing I'm going to be thinking about is the verb. I'm not going to be thinking about the contours or details or proportions or anything else. I'm thinking about stretching, so that's what I did in the beginning. And if one side stretches, the other side compresses. So there we go. I draw the squash in the spinal cord. Now see, just thinking about the verbs laid the foundation for me of the figure in this pose. And I'm literally thinking about that stretching. That's why I'm using some heavy lines in order to draw that. Now, obviously, to balance the pose and to finish it off, I am drawing the arms and the legs. And I'm thinking about the arms as legs as with the same formula. I'm thinking about the bent leg. I'm thinking about the bent arm. And there we go. I drew the other leg. Now the pose is getting balanced, right? And this arm that I'm drawing is the hero of the pose. Because of this arm, the whole body is able to kind of stretch back and getting balanced, right? See that hand I laid down there? So you see, now I'm thinking about like, oh, foot or lower leg or something like that. But again, the verbs are coming into my mind. And finally, the head and the neck. Now, what kind of verb I can think about the head here? Hanging head, right? That's a good one. Bent arm, hanging head, bent leg, yeah? Stretched arm or supportive arm. There's a lot of verbs I can think about. So as you can see, very, very quickly, I have laid down the whole foundation of the figure by just thinking about the verbs. Once the gesture is done, I can just add form to it, shape to it, some anatomy to it to bring more information into it. Yeah, as you can see over here. Now, I'm just gonna draw some face details and stuff like that. Once I'm happy with the gesture, this is my first cleanup phase, where I'm tweaking with the information, trying to make sure the perspective is right, my proportions are all correct. I'm also drawing some muscles, some toes and the fingers, as you can see over here. And I just try to give it a direction of the light with some core shadows, with some smudging, adding the information, smudging it out, adding it again, smudging it out wherever required. Yep. So you can see I can even render this drawing out as much as I want to. Here I did a very quick one, just to show that all the drawings that you see in the beginning can be taken to anything whatsoever, any level, right? And there we go. So just putting in some smudges, putting in some tones, and we are done. So now go ahead, take this pose, take it to the level of finish that your heart desires. I'm just doing a muscle breakdown because I think it's just very interesting pose. And don't think like simple drawings or rough drawings cannot be taken to this level. They can be. All you just need to do is the right thing. And you can turn it into a character if you want. Okay, we have a very interesting pose here. So the first thing I'm going to be looking after is the stretch of the back. See how the force comes from the top and the bottom into the abdomen? There we go. It's resulting in that squash abdomen. So 2 verbs again, stretch and squash. Stretch back, squash abdomen. I'm using some orange color here to represent that applied force. And applied force represents a tension in the body. And that's about it. If you're just drawing the torso, we'll just keep it simple. All right, so we are going to begin with the back. As mentioned in the breakdown, the stretch of the back. The force is coming from the top and leading us into the abdomen section. I'm drawing some quick lines, and there we go. We got the torso just by using the 2 verbs, stretch and squash. I'm drawing the center line here, and center line is going to be affected by the squash in the front. And you can see I'm using a pretty heavy line, right? The line weight is quite heavy. I'm using a thicker and a darker line in order to represent the stress regions, which is in the abdomen. And there we go. We just got the whole torso. Now we are going to go for the arm. So the force is going to come from the back. I'm just using these very simple gestures for the arm. The bent arm, remember, this arm is also a bent arm. So very simple lines. And I'm just going to draw the head. I'm placing the head. I'm not doing any details. And here we go. That's the gesture. Now you can always add just more information on top. So hope you enjoyed. Let's have a look at another great pose. All right, we have this very amazing crouching pose here. The legs are crisscrossed. Yeah, there's a great sense of balance and weight. So the first thing I'm looking at is the stretched torso, right? Like that. And then I'm also drawing the arrowhead in order to show the direction of the force. So you can see it's coming from the shoulder side, it's coming from the pelvis side, and getting into the abdomen, just like the previous one. I can use a little bit of that orange to show the tension in the abdomen. And these are usually the places where I would put a lot of line weight in order to show that. For the legs, the crossed legs, yeah? And this is the work that we can use for the crossed leg. And for this leg that is going behind, we can use the verbs, yes, crossed legs, but also weight-bearing leg. So I just raise it. You can see how this leg is bearing all the weight. So weight-bearing leg, crossed leg, stretched back, squashed abdomen, stretched arm, right? The other arm is also stretching. So these are some of the verbs that we'll be using to draw it. Let's begin. All right, where do we begin drawing this awesome pose? Well, we are obviously going to start with stretched back, yeah? Stretched back and squashed abdomen. These are the 2 statements, again, using the same formula, verbs first and nouns second. And then I'm drawing it simply, right? I'm not worrying about the bumps or how does it look in the actual reference. And remember, make it exist first, and you can always change it later to the degree that you want to. Here I'm setting up the leg first, the weight-bearing leg first, because it is very important to the pose. And also I'm setting up the foot, and foot gives me a ground plane to work on. So I'm just basically settling the pose. And then I'm drawing the other leg very simply, crisscrossing the weight-bearing leg. And there's the ball of the foot. This line is for the arm, right? The arm on the other side. In the reference, you cannot see the whole arm, but I'm trying to track that arm down to the shoulder. It becomes very, very important. Yeah. drawing the other arm as well. So most of it is here. I'm just trying to draw the head as well. And that's mostly about it for the gesture phase of it. We have enough information that we can now start to put in. We can start to put in some information on top. As you can see, I'm just starting to add structure and shapes and anatomy to it. So you'll see it getting more and more closer to what it looks to the real reference. So darting up the lines, see where the tension is, drawing the toes, drawing the heels, drawing the anatomical landmark, drawing the fingers. I'm starting out with simple shapes and then adding anatomy to it. And while I'm adding shapes to it, the structure has been added together. So here you can see I'm trying to add the muscles, muscle detail, all the bumps, that you were caring about in the beginning. This is the phase where you have to add them. So yeah, drawing the actions first is a complete game changer for me. What I taught you today, it's actually a mindset, not a process. After following this mindset, drawing got way easier for me, and it made the process really fun and exciting. Hey guys, so if you have made it to the end of the video, give it a thumbs up and comment down the topics that you want to see more videos about, and subscribe, somewhere here, right? So it motivates us to make more videos like this. If you want more help, head over to drawingforge.com. We've got one-on-one mentorships, memberships, courses, brushbacks, our very own lush Discord community, and so much more. With that said, I'm Ritin signing off. I'll see you soon, guys. Yeah? Peace out. Bye. Every line has a job, and if you're just starting out, what?